I don't want to double down on stupid. If you're buried in an RV, if you can hold on to it, I would suggest you hold on to it. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another video. I am on a tear today. I'm going to tell you about an illegal RV scam. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in my voice mailbox. It's unbelievable. And I'm also going to talk to you about an industry op-ed that I read from June the 17th that I wonder what this guy is drinking. Maybe I need to drink what he's drinking. But before we begin, if you want to know about my shirt, I know I'm going to get some comments. Shameful, shameful. I love my shirts. I love the shirts that I wear here on the show. I have to buy them just like you have to buy them. But the manufacturer, the guy that makes these shirts and sells them, is out of California. And there's a link to his website down below. You get a discount if you use a certain keyword. But that's down in the description. I'm not making any kind of a hidden message about the shirts that I wear. I promise I'm not. I just like these shirts. That's it. So, all right, let me jump in. First off, my voice mailbox. I was on vacation for almost 2 weeks, and my voice mailbox has blown up. I mean, I didn't listen to messages until I got back. Actually, a couple of days after I got back, it's like, you know, I feel like a like if I was working at a poison control center, and every message is about poison. It's this happened to me, and it's terrible. I'm hearing more and more people with awful, awful experiences with their RVs, and it just makes me wonder where the future is headed. That said, I'm going to read to you an op-ed that is, it was written by somebody about in the RV industry and published in an RV industry publication. After I read it, I'd like to know what you think. So listen to this. This is a part, I'm going to read it verbatim, a part of what the op-ed said, because I just don't see the world the same way as this guy does, at least not right now. It says, make plans for down market while times are good. Backlogs of sales are strong for dealers and manufacturers, and profits are at an all-time high. The job market is terrific. Housing prices are rising, and in spite of recent turbulence, major companies are still reporting excellent profits. What a great time to be in the RV industry. For certain, that's true. Still, interest rates are climbing, record levels of inflation are beginning to stagger consumers, and a troubling war promises to further disrupt global trade and supply chains. More directly, fuel costs have seen dramatic increases and show no signs of retreating anytime soon. Continues, a common refrain we heard during the 2008-2009 financial crisis was, quote, "There are so many things I wish I'd done when the market was good to make sure I was ready for all this," end quote. What was true then is true now. There's no better time to prepare for a down market than when you are in a good one. Now is that time. Is now a good time to be in the RV market, in the RV industry market? I don't think so. Like I said, I don't know what this guy's drinking or smoking, excuse the metaphor, but I would like to see what he sees. I'd like to be able to agree with that. It sort of reminds me of the saying, you know, the question, when is the best time to plant a tree? The answer is about 40 years ago. That's the best time to plant a tree. I think that too many RV dealers and too many people in general, but since this is the RV Wingman speaking, we're going to talk about RVs. I think too many RV dealers and manufacturers have failed to look ahead, failed to look at the signs that were right there, we could see, and they've just decided to ignore them. It's not good. And where they're going in the future, I don't see it as good. The time to prepare was a few years ago and, hey, what could go wrong? Well, we're seeing what could go wrong. Runaway inflation, debt out of control, people fighting, the war in Ukraine, shortages everywhere, and nothing but excuses and poorer service. And it's something that we have to live with. We do. So for dealers to say that now's a good time to get prepared, I wish them the best. So help me, I wish them the best. I just think that a lot of RV dealers, especially some of these larger chains, are going to have some real issues moving forward as interest rates continue to rise and they can't take advantage of what the Fed has done in terms of pumping money into the money supply. That's a different subject. But anyway, what do you think? What do you think of that op-ed piece? Do you think that now is a great time to be in the RV industry? Yay. Is it as good as it was last year? What do you think is going to happen in the future? Drop a comment below. I would really like to hear your thoughts. All right, here comes the illegal RV scam. And I think it's a pretty good one. So I want you to imagine this. First off, if you think like I do, that the market is kind of going south, the economy's not getting better. People are going to be more strapped financially. They're going to have to get creative in their financing. Well, so are businesses. And if you were a crooked, let's just say you were a crooked RV dealer. You're a sleazy one. You don't want to break the law, but you don't mind bending it just a little bit, as long as it can keep money coming your way. Let's just say that you were a sleazy RV dealer and you had somebody that came in to your dealership and wanted to buy an RV. You got to get rid of inventory. You got a lot of inventory sitting on dealer lots right now. How are you going to get rid of that inventory when the buyer says, I don't have a down payment? I don't have one. And they come right out and they tell you, I don't have a down payment, but I'd love to buy that RV. They say, well, wait, maybe we could work something with you. Like, really? No down payment? Well, watch this. Did you know that pickup truck campers, the ones that go in the bed of a pickup truck, they're different from RVs in that they do not have a quote-unquote vehicle title, a VIN number, a title. Most of them have a bill of sale, or they come with some kind of a certificate of ownership, but they're not registered with a VIN number like an RV is. And so what if a sleazy dealer said, how much money do we need? We need a $5,000 down payment. So we're going to throw you into that whatchamacallit RV. We're going to get you into that whatchamacallit RV over there. And the book value of it is this. We're going to talk about book values in a future video too. Book value of it is this, but we're going to take your trade in and give you $5,000 worth of a trade on that, and we'll finance the rest. Huh? Yeah, the trade. You're going to trade in that pickup truck camper you own, right? But I don't have a pickup truck camper. You don't? Come on. Work with me on this. And a sleazy dealer can convince you that, hey, he'll just fudge the numbers a little bit, make it look like you put a down payment down, write something on the bill of sale, and finance you up to here and bury you. That's called fraud. It's illegal. And it is going to happen. It's already happening. I am almost positive it is happening right now. I say this not to disparage RV dealers, because they're just human. They want to survive like you and I do. Like every business person wants to survive. But to survive by committing fraud is not good. And if you get told that you can put down a trade that is not invisible, it's non-existent, that we will give you credit, that's bank fraud. Let me ask you this. That's not, who's it good for? First off, who is that good for? Well, it's good for the dealer, of course. They get to get another unit off of their lot. It's good for the bank because the bank's going to finance a lot, that whole thing. It's good for the buyer. And that's all true until the buyer goes, God, I can't make payments on it anymore. What am I going to do? They're going to let it go. They're going to let it go. They're going to try to sell it. They're going to find out they are so buried. They're so upside down. They're probably going to say, come and get your RV. The bank will do that. Do you see how this whole thing could snowball into a monumental amount of RVs that are going to be taken back by a bank? And it's not just this way. There are a lot of ways that dealers and businesses can bend the rules and suck you in, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you look only at today, yes, the deal I told you about, taking a fictitious vehicle, a fictitious pickup truck camper in and giving you credit for it, it may look like it's beneficial to you, and it is temporarily, and for the dealer because it gets inventory off their lot, puts money in their pocket, and the bank. But in the long run, it's a bad, bad deal, and you will get in trouble for it. So I encourage you, don't break the rules. At the same time, I want to say, don't get in over your head. Don't double down on stupid. We've all done stupid things. I continue to do stupid things, but I try to learn from them. I don't want to double down on stupid. If you're buried in an RV, if you can hold on to it, I would suggest you hold on to it. If you can't, try to sell it now. Don't wait until the market gets even lower. Try to sell it now. Going back to my voicemail box, I said my voicemail box is full, and it is. More and more people are calling, but I see it on our Facebook groups. There's a tone. There's a climate. There's something going on inside the RVing community that I'm not sure that the RV industry sees the same way that I do. I'm sure they don't. Do you see more like the RV industry that, hey, things are good. Gas is a little bit expensive, but it'll come back down. Do you see that? You may be right. I hope you're right. Or do you see more like I see? It ain't good. Ain't get any gooder either. It's gonna continue to go down, continue to be challenging. And the people out there that are going to try to cut corners and tell you that it's okay and we'll just finance you and all that, they're going to be more tempting than ever because desperate people do desperate things. I want to close by saying this. Emotion is not the same as logic. That's pretty obvious. Except we forget that when we go into a transaction, when we go into a deal, when we book a cruise or a vacation or buy a truck or an RV or whatever, we want it. That emotion replaces logic. If you'll think logically when you go into these deals, logically. Now, you can't justify from a financial standpoint the purchase of an RV. You can't do it. You know, not only do you have to pay for the RV, you got to pay for insurance and registration and payments and storage and maintenance and all kinds of stuff. It's more than $5 a day. RVing has never been more affordable, like you see on the ads from Camping World. RVing is not a cheap way to go, but it is a great way to go if you can afford it. So think logically and not emotionally. Don't get in over your head. And if you hear of somebody, if a dealer tries to tempt you by fudging the numbers at all, run. There are some great dealers out there, and there are some, I think, a growing number of bad dealers, sleazy dealers, that don't care about you. They only care about the bottom line. You know what? I care about you. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to watch this video and all the videos on my channel. This has been a little bit of Wingman wisdom. Post a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm Alan Warren. I am the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you next time.